Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Neo. In this video, I am working on a return client. Her video is actually up on my channel, so if you want to see the process of doing the nails that I'm removing now, you totally can. I'll link it down below. But yeah, she came in, she wanted a new design, new set, and it was about 2 weeks from when she got that previous blue set with the ombre rhinestones. So I am just going in and removing that. So this is my removal process. I am using the McCart dust collector. It's very helpful in this, type of process for me. I don't have like a table collector, so this works. It's very noisy, but it gets the job done. And as you can see, it's like moving around the table just because it vibrates a little bit, but that's totally okay. I'm using a 2 extra coarse, so like extra coarse bit from Pana. It's not like a tornado bit. It has teeth, but they are straight teeth, so you can use it in either direction. So if you're right-handed or left-handed, you can use this bit. And I'm using it at about 21,000 RPM, so it's pretty fast. It is also a safety bit, so excuse me. Not that you can't cut your client, but you would have to do something like really reckless to like cut them. The tip of the bit is rounded off and there's no teeth on the tip, so you can get up in the cuticle area if you need to, or close to the sidewalls. All I'm doing at this point is removing the previous design. So as you can see, I'm leaving that clear layer down that I normally put when applying nails onto clients. I like to put that clear acrylic layer down so that when they come back for times like this, we can just take it down to that clear acrylic layer. I'm not going down to the natural nail, and then we can build from there. So that's what's happening in this part of the video. Normally, I don't use my bits on rhinestones, but the Zule bling adhesive was so good. Basically, every stone stayed on the finger. Some of the caviar beads that I had placed in between the stones came off, but for the most part, I could not get my nipper gripped around the rhinestones, so I'm just going in with my bit. I turned it up even higher. I think it was about like 25 or 26, and I am just filing those rhinestones like off. So that's another thing why the dust collector is great. If you know of any other types of dust collectors that might work, let me know about them. I do like the McCart one, but it is very noisy and bulky. Maybe if there's another one that's like a little bit flat. I know that Acrylic has one. I know that it's Mia Secret. Is it Mia Secret? Might have one. Is it Mia Secret? Melody Susie is what I'm thinking of. Melody Susie might have one that's a little bit flatter, but yeah, I think the dust collector is great in this instance because, taking off previous sets, you were just grinding down that design. But yeah, I'm just using it very gently on her. I'm letting the speed and the bit do the work. I'm not pressing aggressively on the client's nails. So yeah, and it's a safety. As you can see, I'm getting really close to her sidewalls just to get that last stone off. And the design is pretty much just flying away. So here now I'm going in and pushing back her cuticles. I sprayed her hands with some alcohol just to moisten up her nails and to sanitize a bit. I am scraping off the cuticle from her natural nail plate, or scraping it back for the most part. There is a thin layer of clear acrylic that has grown out, so it's a little bit further up on her nail plate. I think you can see it a little bit. So I'm only using the cuticle scraper on the natural nail that is exposed after the new growth. And now I'm going in with a needle bit. So this is a diamond bit. It is safe to use on the natural nail. I'm using it at a fairly low speed, about 3,000 or 4,000 RPM, maybe 5, but it's very, very low. And I'm just using it to scrape off any cuticle that might be on the natural nail and to get it kind of underneath the eponychium area slightly. It is a needle bit, so it can get under there and scrape up any lifted cuticle that we scraped back, and just trying to, you know, get it up off the nail plate. This bit is also great because you can use it in reverse. So like if you're like me, you're right-handed, you go from right to left. But if you want, sometimes if you're going right to left, it's good to also go in the other direction because you can kind of flip the skin over in a different way. I don't know if I'm describing that well, but yeah, sometimes I like to go in both directions. But as you can see, I'm just scraping up just the white bits. It's just dead skin or cuticle on the natural nail. And now I'm going in with a fine sanding band on a mandrel bit, nothing crazy. And she was worried, but I showed her, I touched my skin with it, and she was totally fine. So I'm just using it to buff the natural nail, and I use it on the skin a little bit just to get rid of any dead skin that might be over the eponychium area. I find that that helps as well. If I don't use my ball diamond bit, then I just use the sanding band to kind of do that as well. And now I am setting up the table. She told me that she wanted green, she wanted gold, and she wanted fall. So that green that I have there is a custom mix. I used chalk pigments, and some clear Young Nails Core Clear acrylic. Actually, I didn't put a lot of acrylic in there, and when I was working with it, I was kind of like, damn, this is mostly just pigment, but I made it work by clear capping. But yeah, it's really great that you can make your own custom acrylic colors at a whim. And I did that for her. So I am just priming. I went in with my Mia Secret dehydrator. This is the primer, and then I'm going to go in with the Young Nails Protein Bond right after. And I'm only applying all three of these products to the natural nail. I'm not even applying it anywhere else because there's an enhancement already on there, just to the natural nail area. And like I do, I'm going to go in with my clear acrylic. So I'm using the Red Acrylics Monomer and the Young Nails Core Clear just to add a very, very thin layer, mainly to the back area where her nail has grown out. So as you can see, I'm not even dragging it down too far because that's not my focus. The focus is just to cover the new growth of the nail. And you see it takes like 1 or 2 swipes. It's really nothing, but it's just to, again, cover up the nail so that when she comes in again and she wants another backfill, then we don't even have to worry about too much of the natural nail. We're just gonna focus on the natural nail that has grown out. And now to the fun stuff. So like I said, this acrylic color was custom made. I used powder chalk that I got from a chalk pastel set from Amazon. I put some mica powder pigment in there, so it has a slight mica kind of shimmery pigment to it. And then I mix it with some Young Nails Core Clear. I didn't add a lot of the Core Clear. This container that I'm using is a 1 ounce container. I also got that on Amazon. And I made my own, like a ton of acrylic color, so I think these containers are nice and small and useful, and they kind of stack nicely in my acrylic storage container. So I just didn't realize I didn't put a lot of acrylic in there. It's mostly pigment, so when I'm working with it, it isn't laying the way that I know that Young Nails Core Clear usually does, but I made it work. But yeah, this color is really lovely. It's an olivey kind of forest green, really beautiful for fall. And yeah, I'm applying it to 3 of the nails in a full, nail application, and then I'm going to do an ombre, and then we're going to do a French cut design. So I am using my favorite nude for brown skin girls on her, and she really loved this nude as well. I was like, yeah girl, this nude is it. It's Peanut by Sugar and Cream. It is like the perfect nude color. It is so good. And I am putting it down the entire length of the nail, but not really, because I'm gonna do a cut crease, not a cut crease, it's not makeup, a cut French, and I'm using an extendo tip that I normally just use to scrape off acrylic. As you can see, I just slid it across the nail and I scraped off the rest. You wanna kind of wait for the acrylic to polymerize just a tiny bit so that it's not a big old slimy mess, but for the most part, you don't have to do too much. If you apply the acrylic smoothly, then when you do cut that area out, then you won't have to do too much work to kind of smooth the acrylic out. On the pointer finger, I am doing an ombre with the same nude brown color called Peanut, And I was kind of worried just because the green was a little bit dark and didn't want to, the blend wasn't happening very, very nicely, but I made it work by back swiping with the green over the nude color afterwards. And then I went in and added that same green acrylic mix color onto the tip where we cut the nude color on the nail. And I'm just going to repeat that on the other hand. So before the video, we went and actually picked out some foil, and I actually shredded these, which you know I hate doing. But this was a really cool gold foil because it had streaks of green and blue in it, and she really, really loved that, how it matched the green that we were working with and the vibe. So I'm just adding that across the cut French line that we made. We're also going to place it on the thumb. She wanted a little bit more sparkle, so I actually got out my Two Guys chameleon flakes. These are just really, really bright, sparkly gold flakes that I normally use. So I'm placing them around the gold foil that I already placed. So just around the edges, and it kind of gave it just like another dimension of sparkle, and she really, really liked that. And it just gave the nail just a little bit more dimension, and because I was using tinier pieces, it was kind of like the gold was ombreing out in both directions. And I'm just using the monomer available to kind of make the flakes stick to the nail. And now it's time to clear cap. So I'm going in with my Young Nails Court Clear, and I am just going to be capping every single nail, especially those nails that have all green, because I already said that I didn't use a lot of acrylic when creating those colors. So there is no strength. They're basically just there for color, and I'm going to build up the shape and strength with the Young Nails Court Clear. After that, I am going to be going in with my 80 grit hand file. I use a new hand file on every client. Usually I just give it to them after when they leave. I'm just like, here, take it, because if not, I'm just gonna throw it in the trash. But I told her, because she types a lot at her job, so her nails don't really maintain the crisp shape by the time she comes back after 2 weeks. So I just gave her the file. I told her, you know, just use the file if you want to kind of crispen up your shape if you want. But yeah, I usually just get rid of them after every client. And I am using an 80 grit 8080 file to maintain, she had a tapered square shape, so I didn't refile before applying the new acrylic because I don't want to take down the shape too much, so I only file after applying, especially if it's a refill or backfill. So yeah, I'm just going in with an 8080 and I'm maintaining that shape for her. Going in with my Pana 5-in-1 crosscut fine bit. It is also a safety. The top is not rounded, but the edge of the top is rounded, if that makes sense. So you would have to do a lot to kind of hurt your client as well. And I'm just smoothing out the nail. Occasionally you'll see me run my thumb over it just to feel if there's any lumps or bumps or scratches or gashes or anything weird like that. But for the most part, I'm just cleaning up the sidewall, thinning out the cuticle and the sidewall area and smoothing out the nail. After using the E-file, I like to go back in with the 100/180 grit hand file and just clean up that shape. Sometimes, especially on the sidewalls with the hand file, because I'm trying to smooth out everything, I might lose the shape a little bit, but I find that if I go back in with the hand file, it just makes it extra crisp. And after the hand filing, I'm going in with a medium grit buffer and I'm smoothing out the nails. I wanted these to be flawless and gorgeous. These were coming out, she said she wanted fall, they were coming out so like regal. She was like, I feel like royalty, these feel like empress nails. It came out really nicely. So just going in with the buffer and buffing off the nails, making sure to get rid of any scratches that might be there from the e-file or hand file, and then I'm going to have her go wash her hands. When she comes back, I'm going to clean with a manicure brush and some swipe or alcohol just to make sure that there's no like residue from soap or oil or anything, and to get rid of any dust that might be sitting in the cuticle or sidewalls. And as we're wrapping it up, I am going in with the glossy no wipe top coat from the Two Guys on all 10 fingers. We're going to do some bling action, and I'm going to be using the Zule bling adhesive, so no need for some gem glue underneath my top coat. I'm just top coating all of the nails. Always make sure to, yeah, I was like admiring that nail. That was my favorite nail, the French cut one with the bling, not the bling, with the chameleon flakes. It was just so gorgeous. But yeah, always remember to clean your sidewalls to maintain that shape. And that nude, guys, is so perfect. Look at it against her skin. I tell you, this color is really pretty. Don't forget to clean your sidewalls and then cure for a full 60 seconds. And it's bling time. So I zoomed in on this for you. I'm using the Zule bling adhesive, and we've got gold charms and green rhinestones that I've got from AliExpress, and we're just gonna have some fun. And we've got some Swarovski crystal rhinestones. So yeah, this green stone is not a flat back, so it was very difficult to kind of, you know, get it to stick. I was really like nervous because I didn't want it to move around and adhere with the Zule bling adhesive, because it's the type of adhesive that dries with time. It's not like you can keep moving it around like a gem glue. So what I did was place that bake surrounding gold piece, and then I sprayed it with hurry up spray, and then placed the diamond really quickly, and before it could slide off to one side or another, I sprayed it with hurry up spray, so at least we knew it wasn't going to move. And then I just built up a random design around that and down the length of the nail. I find like when I'm doing nails and it's like a random kind of, you know, just arbitrary design, I'm in the zone. I'm kind of just like doing whatever feels pretty. And it doesn't really hit me that I have to do it again on the other hand until I'm done and I'm like, oh crap, I have no idea how I did this. And then I have to like sit and kind of copy the other hand. That definitely happened when I was doing this set, but it came out the same and it came out really great. So I'm using some of the Zule Bling adhesive. We've got crystal rhinestones. We've had those big fancy gems, like the big one that I placed there. I have some regular green Swarovski rhinestones. I'm using gold caviar beads and gold charms that I got from Amazon. And every now and again, if I feel like something is shifting a little too much, I just go in with my hurry up spray, give it a quick spray so at least everything starts to stick where I need it to stick. And that's pretty much it for this set. Just eyeballing it and adding pieces, you know, where I feel like we need a little bit more depth or, you know, anything like that. And I think this set looks so regal and like elegant. It came out really nicely. So we went back and forth about this pinky. At first I was going to give her a cuff that had 2 diamonds on the end, but then we talked about how it might get caught on her hair, and then I gave her a plain cuff, but she thought it was too plain. So it was just a lot of back and forth, but it's totally awesome and collaborative. And then we came up with just doing a small version of the design that we did on the middle finger. So nothing crazy, but just give this pinky a little something, a little bit of love. Here's a photo of the set. It came out really, really pretty. She really loved it. I love that she loved it. Here's an action shot for you to check out the set. It came out so lovely. That's all the bling that we added on those fingers, and I had to do it twice. It was so stressful. But I hope you like it. Thumbs up if you do, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.